Welcome back. Thank you so much for listening. If you're just joining us, we have been talking with Ijamaka and Joyce Ojeifo. They are the owners of Two Men and a Truck franchise here in Saskatoon, and we've been learning a lot from their experience and their success story. All right, let's continue. You know, one of the things that I saw when I checked your website is you're fairly new in Saskatoon, like fairly young company. But I saw different awards that you received already. Tell us about it. How did you do it? I know we've been learning about how you've been running the business, but tell us, what is the secret?
Okay. Yeah, we started off in 2019, precisely the month of April.
Yeah.
And in November, I think we got this award from Planet S. It was a huge surprise for us, anyways, but not too much surprise because Two Men in a Truck is known for professionalism when it has to do with the moving, business. So I think we put in, God helped us, and we put in the work, and people liked, the job or the work we executed for them. Our services are impeccable, but honestly, I wasn't thinking it's enough to evolve like becoming the best moving company that same year.
Let me cut. Let me cut it. All right. I wouldn't say I was. I wouldn't say I was very surprised. I wouldn't say I wasn't surprised. Right. And the reason was this: right from the onset, when we set out, what I told her, if you remember, I said we're going to be the best moving company in Saskatoon. In fact, in Saskatchewan, because currently it's not only in Saskatoon that we're operating. We're operating both in Saskatoon and in Regina. So we have an office in Saskatoon, we have an office in Regina. All right, so I told her, I said, we're going to be the best moving company in Saskatchewan. If they're looking for a business to call, they will call Two Men and a Truck. All right, that was the goal right from the onset. All right, and we put in place structures and processes to attain that goal. All right. If you go on Google, in 2019, all right, before December, we already had above 100 and something Google reviews. Right. It was intentional. All right. So it was not something that I glossed over, because I had a clear-cut focus on what I want to be. All right, and we are still evolving. We are getting there. All right, and I believe, right, because it takes quite a lot of hard work, just as we said in some of the questions that we discussed. Right, it takes a lot of effort, but that was something that I look forward to seeing. So surprise in the sense that it came, in the same year that we opened. Not a surprise because I had that as a goal, all right, and as a vision for the company. All right, so after 2019, we also had in 2020, all right, by Planet S. They also nominated us as the best in the moving category, as the best moving company. All right, then 2022, we had the Consumer Choice Award, all right, where we were also nominated in the moving category as the best moving company in Saskatoon, and also in Regina. So it is something that we are sustaining, all right, and we are putting every effort, all right, to ensuring that we remain the best moving company. All right, not just being the best because it's from our perspective, being the best from the customer's perspective. All right, because I don't want to say, okay, we are the best moving company. No, let the customers say that we are the best. All right, that is when it gives me that value. All right, that okay, we're actually working towards the attainment of that goal. All right, and we'll continue to do it, and we want it to continue to happen on a back-to-back basis. All right, until when anybody, just as the same way someone say, okay, I want to drink, and they say cook. All right, that's the same way I want them to say, okay, I want a moving company, and they say Two Men and a Truck. All right, I want it to be a household name.
Yes.
All right, that's the target, that's the goal, and we are getting there, and we'll definitely arrive at that point. Well,
amazing. That is good. Thank you so much. So whatever you're doing, be the best at it.
Exactly.
That's the secret.
Exactly. Have that as a goal, have that as a focus, pursue it, put up strategies to attain it, all right, and measure it. What is measured improves.
Yeah.
Anything you measure improves. So keep measuring it, all right.
And that's one thing Two Men in a Truck does too. I tell people every week we receive our results.
Oh.
Yes. So we are all our activities are being measured. Yeah, and we are accountable to them.
Okay.
So if you're not doing well, they are reachable. The customer can call the head office. So having this at the back of our mind, we are focused.
Keeps you on your toes.
Right, because the reviews are sent not by us. The reviews are sent from the head office.
Oh, okay.
Not the head office in Canada,
US.
from the head office in US. Okay, so when every move is executed and completed, they receive an email, all right, for them to score how we perform. All right,
okay.
so the customers will respond, and if so, it's not something that you try to influence, all right, because it will be at the customer's house when you're already done. All right, and if you actually did something good, they will report it. If you did something that is not good, they also report it, right? So that's the way it is, and that puts us on our toes to ensure that every work that is done is professionally executed to the customer's expectation, even exceeding it. All right, that's what we always do.
Fantastic, and that's showing in the awards. Yes,
Right,
you're putting in the hard
exactly.
work, and the awards are showing.
Correct.
Fantastic. Let's go to the next question. Let's talk about the struggles that businesses face, right? One of them that I can even think about when we're talking about the peak period now, I remember the pandemic, right? The pandemic was such a tough one on most business owners. So I'd love you to share some of because it couldn't have been all rosy. You started a franchise and everything is okay. There's no trouble. No, we're doing it. We're just riding on. No, there must have been struggles and all that you face. Share some of that with us. It doesn't necessarily mean the time of pandemic that one was a general one, but there are struggles that you face on the job, and how do you overcome them in educating us? In running a business.
The business we run, Two Men and a Truck, is a customer-centric business. So it's a B2C, all right, business to consumers, all right, and you are faced with customers every day, and we have it as a goal to always exceed that. This goal is not the goal for IJ and Joyce, is the franchise goal. All right, to always exceed the customer's expectation. All right, you may be amazed. We as a network. When I mean network, when you put all the franchisees together, all right, in Canada, all right, and in Canada, we have a referral rating of 96.5%.
I saw that on your website. I was like,
right.
I was impressed.
All right, so that is a lot of work, and believe me when I say it's a lot of work. You could imagine 96.5% of your customers referring you to their friends and family. So that's the target. This is not a target that we define. It's a target or a goal that is set by the business. All right. If you are falling short of it, you'll be receiving a lot of emails. Oh yeah, you'll be getting emails. You are falling short. What is happening? Do you want us to? You wouldn't like to be reading those emails. So because of that, all right. And we know that we are servicing customers. So you need to up your game 10 times more. All right, because customers, it could be difficult satisfying them, right? Okay, so that's one of the struggles, right? Ensuring that the business is up there, that your team, they are all trained to be able to deliver the service, all right, which will be equivalent to the price point that you are selling it, because you are selling it at a price point. So you must exceed the expectation of the customer, so that when they are paying, they are happy that they got the service that they are paying for. All right, that's a major challenge. The second one is hiring, getting the right people, all right, to do the job. That's a major challenge, all right, because moving in the logistics business, moving is already a hard job.
Yeah.
Then you're not bringing people to retain them, get them more motivated, all right, to continue to do provide the service at the quality that you desire, all right, that will be fitting to the customer. So that's also a major challenge. So it's not at times, all right, when we started, she knows that when we started, There were times maybe you've already booked moves, you want to execute moves, and the the your employee doesn't show up.
Movers don't show up.
So what do? I had to jump into the truck, all right, and I had to go do the move myself. In fact, there was a particular time where I think that was 2 years ago, right? It was 2 years ago, 2020, all right, 2020, 2020, right? Where it was, oh my goodness, it was really challenging. I don't forget that year. I don't forget that year. All right, there was a time I went to the church, because I also pastor a local church, right?
Okay.
All right, we went to the church, finished, came back. There was a move that wasn't executed a day before, all right, and the customer was already waiting, all right. So I took my 2 kids. I said, "Come, we have a business, we have a customer to satisfy." All right, we drove down to the office. I picked the truck. Both of them got into the truck, and I drove down to the customer's house. We executed 2 moves that day on a Sunday. All right, so, and there were other days where they would not show up, and the customers are waiting. You can't be telling the customers, "Okay, my movers are not." All right, they don't understand that you've already made a commitment to them.
Absolutely.
All right, and you have to deliver on the commitment. All right, so I can tell you that that's another challenging area for the business. At times, my wife will normally say, "Oh my goodness, if someone have shown me that this is how the business is going to look like," you say, maybe I would have thought more than not twice. I would have thought maybe 3 times or 4 times before stepping in. All right, because those could be major challenges. So you have to develop strategies to be able to surmount them. All right, and all right, of course, with the labor shortage in Canada,
Yes.
all right, that also
That's
adds to
a huge
it.
one.
That also adds to it. So I can tell you, it's not that easy.
Wow. So it's not all rosy.
No, it's not
No.
all rosy.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I was going to ask about people management, but you already delved a
Right.
little into it. But
Okay.
we could talk a little bit more, because one of the things that usually scare people from running business is people management, right? They can do business on their own, like it's just me, but when it comes to hiring people, managing them every day, just like you said, people calling sick on a daily basis and things like that. Are there things that you want to add to it that keeps you going, or you advice you want to give people out there that when you're running your own business, things you pay attention to in managing your employees and things like that? You want to tell us that, just because that's your office.
Let us talk about it.
Yes, like I have mentioned, we got a lot of training from the headquarters on how to manage these people, right?
Okay.
So with that in mind, we came a little bit prepared. Let me put it that way. Naturally, I'm a people person. I go well with people. No matter the kind of person you are, God has just given me that grace and wisdom to manage people, and very welcoming and warm. Managing human beings naturally is a difficult thing, because you're seeing people from different walks of life with different flavor, with different characters coming to, work for you. But you just put what you know, who you are, to a large extent, put it aside and just watch. I'm coming from a background where people don't call you by your name, especially when you are far older than them, right?
Yeah.
So we got to know it was a little when I came to kind of
Culture shock.
for children to just call you by your name like that. So I got over that long time ago, and I came working. Some people will say ma'am, some will say Joyce, so and all of that. They can just walk into your office without prior notice, just misbehave. But I was able to work around it, and if it's becoming unbearing, we'll just talk about it, have the first warning, second warning, then the other one. We stop scheduling you and tell you that, okay, maybe this is not the right place for you to work, and all of that. So for me, it's very interesting, because for my CSR, these are the people that I work with every day, and I get to see them every day. And the attrition rate with the CSR is not high at all. Like, we work as families.
Okay.
Is the drivers, and I don't even mind it, because some people come in just to work for the interim, like 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, and they tell you prior that, you know what, this is not my field. I was laid off and anytime I can go, right? But some just come just because they need that money for that month, and after that,
They just go.
they just leave. So we decided to go with another strategy, right? Getting to hire people that you know that will really stay, people with responsibility. I come to find out that guys with responsibility, they tend to stay more, yeah, than just the young folks that want to get money to just buy whatever they need for that moment and leave.
disappear.
So, yeah, so with that we have stabilized. I can say we have stabilized more than it was before.
Let me just make a point here, all right, for everyone that is also going to be having, or maybe they'll have challenges, or you're going to be running your business. You must have a heart for the people, all right? You must have a heart for the people. They are employees, but they are human beings first.
Yes.
So you must have a heart for them.
Empathy.
All right, yes, exactly. You must be empathetic, right? Don't treat them right, all right? Treat every employee, treat them right. I have a saying, one, I will never owe any of my employees a cent. They worked for it, they deserve to get it. All right. And two, right, I know that some people do say things that, or do behave, all right, certain ways. Find out why are they behaving the way they are behaving. It may be that they have a troubled home, or they have some issues, all right? So reach out to them beyond the job they are doing, all right? And when they see that the connection is not just on the job, all right, it is beyond the job, you discover that anytime you call them, they will respond to you, all right? So there's one of my employees, right, I will always say, all right, maybe when the operations manager call him to come work, he will say, no, I will do this for IJ. As in, I'm not, maybe he's not supposed, he has already fulfilled all his obligations, done working, all right, and they need his help. You see, you know what, I'm doing this for IJ, okay? And the employees, my operations manager, will say, why are you always saying you're going to do this for IJ? All right, he said, because IJ doesn't joke with me.
Wow.
All right, so I do it so he doesn't joke with me, so I can't joke with his business.
That's very true.
All right, so he said, I will do it for IJ.
Yeah.
All right, so it's because the connection is not on the job, it's beyond the job. All right, I have connected with him beyond his work.
Yeah.
So when you do that, right,
they
will treat your business as theirs.
So show that you're genuinely
interested in them.
And into the extent of even, like, we've had to go visit some of our employees. Yes. I remember this employee that won the best employee of the month last month. When he came in his raw state, he was terrible. And I remember the operations manager saying, you know what, drop him. And I said, but there's something I see in him. When he makes the mistake, you come and you reprimand him. He's going, okay, I'm not. He had the right attitude. So I choose to hire because of your character, then train you for the skill, right?
Yes.
So he had the right character.
Hire for attitude,
Yes, he had
train
the
for
right
skill.
Yeah, I noticed that he had that good attitude. So I say, hold on, let us be patient with this guy. And today, true to it, he was passing through a lot of stuff then, right? But today, he's our best. One of our best. He comes back with a 5-star. He comes back with tips. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Awesome. That is good. It's good to learn these things from experienced business owners like you. People are running their businesses. They probably are having challenges with their employees. Some people are about to start. So giving these tips is really a good one. Thank you so much. I love the fact that you said your employees giving a testimony, even behind you, saying, I'm doing this for IJ. That means a lot.
Yeah.
It means a lot. That kind of person will ensure that your business survives no matter what is happening. Wow.
Well, it still happens that some CSRs, they will call to say, please, can you help us call this person? We know if you talk to him,
wow,
he will listen. Then I say to them, what do we do
that you are not doing?
Start doing it.
That's it.
So we want to move to that level where they can trust you. As we are the owners, but we have you as the operations person, they should be able to trust you.
You
So
should have
go
that connection
yes.
too.
Right.
To be able
Thank
to give
you.
them a call and they respond.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So, IJ, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
If you were to do this all over again, what would you do differently?
If I were to do it all over again, what would I do differently? That's you mean because is it the business that I'm
The
currently
business,
running?
yes.
Okay.
Running the business, yes.
I would say I will ask more questions. All right. Because there were things, even with all the resources and all the support, all right, there were things that we got to know in the life of the business, right? When the business, so I will ask more questions, okay? Because in asking the questions, you get to know more, all right? You get to know more of things that you need to do right, and the things you need to avoid, all right? Ask more questions. The other thing is perhaps do additional researches. All right, I did quite a ton of research, right? So I wouldn't say I was lacking in that regard, but there is never too much knowledge. There's never too much knowledge. So I will ask more questions, all right, and I will do more researches,
research before
all right,
going into it.
before. So basically, that's how. Then ask more questions, do more researches, and that's what I
Absolutely.
would say. That's what I
Thank
would
you.
say.
Thank you so much. So
You're
this
welcome.
question, I'll start with Joyce. You know, from what you have said so far, she's already looking at me like, what do you want to say? From what you have said so far shows me that you are very, very busy. I mean, like running a successful business requires a lot of hard work, right? But you still find time to do other things. One of the things you have done is to write this lovely book, Roses and Bliss. And I'm wondering, how do you balance family and business? I know you have 3 lovely children. How do you do it? It's a struggle for some people. So I know there are challenges, but how do you do it? How do you manage family, business, and church too? Church, pastoring a church, that's a lot of work too. So tell us, how do you manage everything?
Oh, it is. I think it's basically for me. I just drew the line. I had the boundary put in place. Family first in everything, right? So, thankfully, as at the time we started the business, the children were already grown.
Oh, okay.
So, as at 2019, David was my first son was in grade 10, I think, and so they could access the bus system.
Okay.
That was in Calgary. Basically, I was taking them to school, going but and coming back. But when they got here, they were able to navigate through the bus system, and so that gave me some leverage. So I have to just do it because necessity is laid on me to get it done. Like prepare the food, make the house comfortable before I leave for work, and so it's just for you to make up your mind that when you're home for the children.
Yeah.
And so you're not opening up your computer to do anything work. Be there for them, see through their assignments, talk to them, but when you're at work, you shut down and you do the job. So I've always learned over time to put family first. The family that's your first primary assignment. So if your family front is failing, then for sure, I don't know how the business will succeed. I don't know about that. If your home is disorganized, then it's going to affect your business for sure.
Yeah.
So it was tough for me, especially when he was not fully on ground. But God helped me to navigate through it. And as at the time we started the business, the children were, to a large extent, grown up.
Wow. Fantastic. It's been awesome listening to you both. I'll ask one last question. I feel like just continuing this conversation and not ending it. It's pretty entertaining and educating for me too. Is there any advice, IJ, that you would like to give people out there? I know we've talked about a lot of things, talk about starting a business, taking on maybe a franchise or things like that. Is there anything from your wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience that you'd like to share with people out there? And the angle I want you to look at is there are people, especially in the Black community, coming here. First, I'll take you back. Let me take you back a little bit. The first time I saw the truck of two men and a truck, I did not believe that there would be any black or connection or African connection, anything. You know, when you see businesses, sometimes you just, what's that word now? You just believe, okay, it will be a white person you see there, or some, maybe not black and all that. But you have gone into that business and you are an inspiration to the black community. So what advice can you give people out there to make them know that there is absolutely nothing that you cannot do, any sphere of life that you cannot venture into?
Okay, thank you. First, I would like to say that there is no limitation to possibilities that lies in your heart. Once you think it, you conceive it, all right, and you speak it, all right, and you pursue it, you can achieve it, right? So there's no limitation to possibilities, regardless of where you are. Geographical location is not a limitation. The only limitation that you have is the limitation you have in your mind. If you say you can't do it in your heart, in your mind, then that's where the limitation is. But other than that, if you say you can do it, then you can do it. Then another point I also want to tell you is, do not, my wife knows that I talk about it, we say it a lot, all right? Never put money before the idea. Never put, okay, I don't have the money. That shuts you down. Never ever put money before any idea. Let the idea be before the money. If it's an idea, all right, that it's going to succeed, the money will come.
The money will come.
Okay, so never put money before the idea. Put the idea before the money. Okay, then another thing that I also want to mention is leverage on mentors or people that have gone ahead of you. There are people that have gone ahead of you that understand the system much more than you do. Good guys, good people, good hearts, ready to help. Look for them. We have them in our black community, all right? Try to find out who these people are, all right? Reach out to them, discuss with them, let them guide you, okay? So because they've gone ahead, it's better to climb on the shoulders of people that are successful so that you will be able to see from their perspective, from their height, than trying to do it.
Even learn from their mistakes.
Learn from you. It will compress a lot of things. It will shut off a lot of mistakes, a lot of frustrations. All right. So don't. Wherever you are, if you are watching this video, all right, and you are looking at doing something in this regard, please look for people, genuine people that have gone ahead of you. It might be in the black community, it might be in the white community, but they are true, they are wonderful, they are ready to help. Leverage on their experience. Don't think you know it all right, because you will discover you don't know nothing. Okay, and you will just go crashing. And when you crash, you say, oh, if I knew, I shouldn't have started. It's not as if you knew, you didn't have started. If you knew, you would have gone first to ask people that have gone ahead of you. All right, so that's the advice. If you do that, the chances of being successful is extremely high. There is no stopping you if you have it in your heart to do it. All right, the environment is welcoming, and the top is available for everybody. All right, so don't limit yourself being there. All right, the top is available. It's looking for people like you to come, climb there and showcase what you have to the world.
Fantastic. Wow. Thank you so much. Honestly, like I said, I felt like continuing this conversation even till tomorrow, but we have to end it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being for sharing your success story with us and for being such a huge inspiration to the black community. We appreciate you, and I'm sure a lot of people have learned a lot from you. I have learned a lot listening to you guys today, and I'm empowered. I'm energized. I'm ready to face challenges that come my way. I love what you said. Never put money before the idea. And never even think about support or anything before the idea, because when you go with the idea, you do your research, support and money will come out. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. All right. There you have it all. We've heard it all. Running a successful business in Canada or anywhere, it's not really a walk in the park. It's not just a walk in the park, but it can be so rewarding when we put in the hard work and we pay close attention to it. And just like he said, when we do our research before we go into the business, someone said, look before you leap. Do your research, ask questions, and go for it. But never forget, don't put money before the idea. And also, you learned that a stagnant water stinks. You don't want to be a stagnant water. Share your ideas with people. We also learned from the book of ideas that we read that when you close your hands, nothing comes into it. But open it up. Share the ideas you have with other people, and they will be able to achieve their own goals too. All right, so until we come your way next time, I remain your host, Tosin. Next time, we'll be bringing you another icon in the business world that you can also learn from. From now, just keep doing what you're doing and achieving your dreams. Stay act to it, stay fast to it, and stay true to the actions and goals that you have set for yourself. See you, and God bless.